In the journey of life, each of us strives to find our path to happiness. Some may perceive it as accumulating wealth, while others see it in the love and fame they receive from others. However, few of us realize that happiness is not always external. Instead, the most significant contribution you can make to your own happiness is by embracing it, loving it, and providing it with the necessary care. Yet, the road to self-discovery is not an easy one, paved with roses. On the contrary, it is a challenging path that requires patience and the belief that true happiness resides within you. Look for it. Here comes this book to impart lessons, experiences, and practical insights, concluding that true happiness, no matter how guided by others, will always be your own choice. Be the person who makes you happy. There are numerous examples suggesting that a person might not be happy in their current situation, whether surrounded by toxic and negative individuals or facing frustration from life's obstacles and hurdles. These small details we encounter on our short journey through the cycles of life are understandable. What remains incomprehensible is when a person behaves like a programmed automaton destined for misery, sadness, and gloom. Instead, one should focus on conserving energy by avoiding harm, negative thoughts, and unproductive matters. The persistent feeling that almost never leaves us is not an easy matter to overcome with a mere stroke of a pen. It requires internal consensus. Happiness is typically something that can be cultivated within each one of us if we choose to do so. The path to it involves shedding the emotional and mental burdens we carry. Perhaps the most crucial starting point for this delightful journey is through practices like meditation, reflection, internal forgiveness, and strengthening the desire to meet our true selves, as they hold the key to acquiring our happiness. Bit to remember, happiness is an internal agreement that must be cultivated. Happiness is a project we all seek to invest our entire lives in. This project should evolve into a horizon we strive to achieve in every moment. However, this will only happen after happiness becomes daily habits. Before it becomes so, we must dispel some misconceptions about it. Many of us look for their happiness in others, in external worlds. In short, happiness does not happen to you, it happens because of you. To help find habits that bring happiness, the book suggests a set of tips, summarized as follows: seek the bright side of life. Avoid the trap of comparing yourself to others as much as possible. Stay away from the phone without necessity. Positively engage with nature. Take 100% responsibility for the decisions we make. Internal communication with oneself. Spend time on important things. Enjoy relaxation time to increase energy and improve mood. Bit to remember, transforming happiness into habits is the real bet for those seeking joy. The concept of happiness is not easy to define and set boundaries for, despite people talking about it daily. Despite the differences in understanding, everyone agrees that it is an emotional state where a person feels satisfaction, joy, and all positive emotions. Since happiness is a specific term, psychologists use the term self-well-being to describe this human state. Therefore, happiness, or more precisely, self-well-being, involves two essential components. 1. Emotional balance. This refers to the stability of positive emotions, reducing negative charges and their impact on an individual's well-being. 2. Life satisfaction. This is the state in which a person aligns with all their actions or choices, finding contentment in their life. Bit to remember, happiness is achieved through the balance of emotions and satisfaction with life. The author chooses the title A Happy Persona with a Sorrowful Soul for one of the chapters of his book. The title may seem confusing at first because people often think that a happy personality cannot harbor a sad soul. However, reflecting on the realities of life, we can affirm that this is possible, especially when a person loses a loved one or experiences a tragedy that cannot be easily forgotten. Life is not always an ideal scenario devoid of sorrow and tragedy. This is not a far-fetched idea. But can we find happiness in the midst of the most miserable situations? Yes, it is possible. However, when we feel pain and sadness, we often try to get rid of these feelings. We pretend that we are fine and try to ignore the pain, putting ourselves in a defensive position. This natural human response doesn't remove the sadness, it just keeps us stuck in it. What needs attention is that escaping from pain is, in itself, a form of pain. Therefore, we must acknowledge and experience this pain, treating it as a living entity since, as long as we are in this life, this feeling will accompany us, whether we like it or not. We also need to learn to enjoy the simplest and smallest things, finding happiness in everything, whether it's a natural scene, a child's laughter, or a blessing like the gift of sight. In short, we must discover our happiness as long as we are alive. Bit to remember, escaping from pain and sadness does not achieve our happiness.